TF101. And basically it's a $400 tablet. They say it's the most affordable Honeycomb tablet. It's got a decent processor, it's got a HDMI out, and some other optional keyboard accessories. The cons they talk about is basically that keyboard accessory was buggy at launch. They again say the Honeycomb interface can be cluttered. They don't like the virtual keyboard on it. So basically they say this particular tablet says at $400 it's aggressively priced, but it just doesn't feel like a finished product yet. So that's the second tablet they talk about. So let's go on to the third one. Interestingly enough, the third one they put up is the Barnes & Noble Nook Color, which we mostly think of the Nook as a e-reader. And basically what they say, it's $249, so it's inexpensively priced. Basically they say it's more than an ebook reader but less than a full-blown tablet. So it's going to be an interesting device to keep an eye on, as it just has Wi-Fi. Apparently it has a bit of a short battery life for an e-reader. So the question kind of becomes, if it's a wishy-washy e-reader and it's a wishy-washy tablet product, where does it fit? Well, we'll see. It's interesting to see that Barnes & Noble's kind of positioning their Nook Color as kind of a tablet. Certainly it's less expensive at $250, but is that going to be enough? Basically, the next one they call it is a Cherry Pal Cherry Pad. And it's priced at $188. So the pros, they say, it's very inexpensive. It's small and light and runs the Android. But they basically question this company's reputation. Who's heard of Cherry Pal? To me, it sounds like a cheap Chinese product. Apparently, the touch screen is not very good. And that's basically, they say it's very inexpensive, but it doesn't work all that great. So it's certainly something to pay attention to. Cheaper is not always better, especially when it's coming from a company you've never really heard of, and the operating system they don't think is all that great. So another one called the Kobe Cryos Internet Touchscreen Tablet. Basically, it is also an Android device. It's priced between $140 and $200. It only supports Android 2.1 right now, though. So again, kind of a confusion there that it has an operating system that was not designed specifically for tablets. So they say, basically, bottom line is it uses a limited version of Android and lacks the abilities of more advanced tablets. But it's inexpensive. So you have to wonder just how many people are these really inexpensive tablets going to snag, and you have to wonder, are they really wanting an iPad, or are they going to be happy when they purchase these other alternatives? HTC Flyer, priced at about $800. They say it's a great screen, they actually optional pen input, but they say it's an outdated, non-tablet specific version of Android. So, again, a lot of compromises here with these particular tablets that they're talking about. Seventh tablet here, they talk about the Motorola Xoom. Basically, their big problem with it, they like it a lot as far from a hardware standpoint, but they really don't like the software. It's, again, kind of overly complicated. Flash support's only in beta mode. They think it's kind of buggy. Priced at $600, which is down. Motorola Xoom was priced at about $800 when it first came out. So the next one they're talking about is the RIM BlackBerry Playbook. And as many other reviewers have talked about, basically they just feel it's not quite ready. They like a lot of the hardware features and a lot of the interface, but they just think it's not quite ready for prime time. They feel it was a rushed product. And the BlackBerry Playbook is about $600 for the 32 gig version. Now they talk about the Samsung Galaxy Tab, which priced about $500. They say it's fast, it's nice design, runs almost all the Android apps, but again, it's just not it doesn't run the latest Android operating system. And they don't know for sure that you will be able to upgrade to the current Android operating system, so that can be a potential problem. Finally, there's the T-Mobile G Slate, and they say it's the first 4G tablet. It's affordably priced. It's about $530 for a 32 gig camera. It's got dual facing cameras, video chat. Again, they say the Honeycomb interface feels cluttered. The Flash Beta is buggy for running Adobe Flash apps, that sort of thing, and some other oddities to that. So basically, bottom line, there are competitors to the iPad, but none of them are anywhere near as polished and refined, user-friendly experience, all that, as the iPad. That always has been Apple's hallmark, is user experience. And obviously they're providing that with the iPad, which certainly indicates why it continues to be a runaway success, building upon the success of the iPhone and in general now the success of the iOS operating system. So, bottom line, when you are deciding, and tell your friends and family this, if you're deciding an iPad, an iPhone, something like that, be sure what you want, because if you want an iPad, or if you want an iPhone, there really is no substitute for them. There are close players, there are different players, but there's nothing that is, in fact, an iPad or an iPhone. Kind of like Apple's commercials. If you don't have an iPhone, you don't have an iPhone. There are alternatives, there are differences, but unless you really know what you're getting, and you're getting it for a very specific reason, if you think you want an iPad, or if you think you know someone that wants an iPad, an iPhone, whatever, they probably want that product. Getting them a substitution or letting them be talked into something by somebody else, it may not be the best choice for them. So that's, I think, the takeaway from this article is that, yes, there are now competitors out there, but they're not quite ready yet for the average person. Certainly some technical people might like some of the features of these pads, but for average mainstream America, I think you stick with the Apple products. You won't be disappointed for sure. So anyway, that about wraps up our time. I'd like to again thank our sponsors, Ambassador Travel in Belleville, Phil Caravia, Edward Jones in Swansea, and Mac Experts in Edwardsville, Illinois. So certainly feel free to contact me off air if you have any further questions. You can call the number 314-714-4200. You can contact me through Facebook, the text bot on Facebook, or on iWatchRadio.com. So again, for the text bot, I am Marcel Brown, your host. Hope to see you again soon. And again, remember, tech happens.